One of the reasons that I took a break from YouTube last year was because I was having an inner conflict with myself around the idea of getting guidance from the Arcturians rather than getting guidance straight from God. It was a very confusing time for me because it's very important for me to be completely authentic and clear on what I am presenting and what I'm serving and what I am offering. And so I was having a lot of doubts as to whether or not getting guidance from the Arcturians was cool with God, if this makes sense. And so if you watched my comeback video from early January, you'll see that I talk about God and the freedom to speak about God going forward, that's very important to me. My relationship with God is very important to me. And I was in many ways sort of tiptoeing around that before, and I was afraid to mention God on my channel. And if you watch that video, you know that I'm no longer going to hide that aspect of myself. And what I'm going to share with you today is how I got clear on the inner conflict I was having. And I'm also going to share 3 ways that you can connect deeper with God if that's something you're desiring and receive really clear messages from God. And in this video, I'm going to be sharing a very vulnerable letter that I wrote to God and the letter God wrote back to me. And we'll talk more about that in just a little bit, because that's one of the ways that you can connect deeper if you feel called to do so. So one of the things that I finally did, after following Aaron Rose for many years and deciding to skip over many of his offerings, I finally committed to one of his mentorships. And I'm going to link his information down in the description in case you're interested. You can totally follow him on Instagram at Aaron Rose, and also check out his website to see if maybe you might be interested in any of his offerings. The mentorship that I signed up for is called God is My Boss, which is exactly what I was looking for, because God is my boss. He's always been my boss, but I really needed a little more support in reigniting my relationship with God. And 3 of the things that I'm going to show you today are taken from God is My Boss. But remember, if you want to dive deep into these 3 things, I highly recommend signing up to Aaron Rose's God is My Boss mentorship, okay? So the first thing I learned in God is My Boss is having a daily morning meeting with God. I was committed to a prayer with God every night, but I wasn't necessarily waking up every morning and having a meeting with him. And my prayers at night really consisted of just gratitude prayer, of saying thank you for everything I could think of. And I mean everything, like from the bird that flew across me on my walk to the really delicious meal I had that day to, let's say, a really incredible new client that walked in the door that day. I have a gratitude prayer at the end of the night till I basically fall asleep. But my morning meeting with God is all about having a conversation like you would with a friend and dropping off your worries for the day. Let's say I imagine putting all of my worries into this bowl that's like a golden white light shining really brightly. And then I dump all my worries into that bowl and I just hand it over to God and I just surrender it to God. Every little and big thing, I just dump it in the bowl, okay? Now, after I surrender my worries, I then ask for deep guidance on what God would have me be today, okay? And this is where Aaron taught us a little thing about being versus doing. So when I ask, what would you have me be today? Do with me what you will. How would you have me serve today? I seek guidance specifically on the being for that day. So receiving the being of what energy, what feeling, what is most important for me to embody today. And so I want to talk about the difference between being and doing for a moment. So being, the energy of what is needed that day. So let's say that what you need to do today on your to-do list is answer a bunch of emails, film a video, but asking, who do I need to be? What would you have me be today as I am doing these tasks? and then receive the answer. And being is different from doing. So being courageous, being bold, being peace, being calm, being joyful while you are doing the answering of your emails, the filming of your video. So do you get the difference between being and doing? What are you embodying in the doing? Yeah? And then I ask, what would you have me do today? Because maybe what I had planned is not the highest vision for myself that day. So that's number one, a morning meeting with God, handing over your worries. And remember that when you are in that meeting with God, that you are in many ways surrendering and letting go of everything you think you know about yourself, your business, the people around you, the people you need to interact with that day. You're letting go of stories. You're letting go of everything that you have a fixed idea on, okay? So that you can receive something new, so that you can say, I'm ready and willing to take on the information that you're giving me, and I'm going to take action on that because I have faith in the pathways and the presentations of those pathways that you'll put before me, and that I will be open to seeing them. Yeah? Okay. Number 2 is my favorite new thing that I am doing. Okay. I do it once a week now. And in a little bit, I'm going to share with you my very first letter to God and my very first letter from God. So that's number 2, taking 20 minutes out of your day to write a letter to God and receive a letter from God. And what you'll do is you'll get nice and comfy. If you need to set up your space with candles or some tea or whatever, be somewhere nice and quiet, away from the kiddos, have some time to yourself. Devote 10 minutes of writing a letter to God. And this is very similar to actually expressing your worries and dropping your worries in the bowl, only this time you're going to be writing down all the things that are on your heart, all the things that you're worried about in that particular moment, on that particular day, whatever is currently coming up for you. You're just going to vomit it out. Don't overthink about it. Just let it all out on the page, and you'll spend 10 minutes doing that. Okay? Then, this is the coolest part, because I really didn't realize what would come through. I was a little bit skeptical that anything would really come through. Then you're going to spend 10 minutes writing your letter from God. And you're just going to allow God to come through you, and you're going to free write whatever comes out, whatever comes through, whatever messages need to be shared with you, and it's going to be channeled through you. And remember, everyone can channel, everyone. And this is a really beautiful way to do it because you are requesting that God speak through you, and it comes out on the pen onto the page. And it's a really beautiful exercise that I'm so in love with now. And so now, like I said, it's very vulnerable for me to share this with you. And I share this because I want you to feel the depth of expression through your heart and the beautiful connection that can be fostered with God if you take the time to do this. And so now I'm going to share my very first letter that I wrote to God and the letter I received from God. Letter to God, October 30th, 2024. Heavenly Father, I know you know everything about me already. You created me in every single particle of my being, not just the body I happen to be living in at this moment, but my spirit that animates it, through you and of you. In this human experience, it's challenging to understand the all of our existence and how we are because of you. The questions, the wonder, the awe, the mystery of you is ever present within me. Will I ever truly know who you are? Will I ever truly see how it is that even you came into existence? I am in need of obvious miracles in my life. To be fully without doubt that what I share with the world, the Arcturians, Akashic Records, are real. That the messages are real. Is it selfish or uncommitted to you to have doubt, to not feel confident in my mission without having obvious and miraculous proof that what I share is 100% real? The Arcturians are real. They also exist within the breath of life that you offer and give to us all. How do I have faith without your seal of approval or some very obvious experience that proves your hand is on my ability to channel? Should I simply trust because it is so? I channel, and because it is so, your hand is on me, and this I can have faith on? I just don't know. I believe this is why I had to stop my YouTube channel, this conflict. I need you, miracle worker of all miracles, to give me a clear sign. Letter from God, October 30th, 2024. Dear one, you are a beautiful being for asking all of these questions. Your devotion to the purity of your mission is commendable, and I'd like to acknowledge you for this. Your spirit is so wonderfully childlike and yet so wise. It's difficult for you to take action when purity of that action isn't known to you 100%. But in this human experience, you get to know doubt, challenge, separateness, fear, anxiety, worry, etc. Because of your devotion to all that is and to God, you are used to operating under purity. In a realm that you cannot recall at this moment, you are one of the few who have devoted your life force to purity. It is what you offer the world on earth as a human because it is what you are. You have the capacity to wash clean all that isn't of love and the light that creation is, that we all come from and have the possibility to access as soon as we request with pure intention to access it. Do you remember when you gained the ability to channel? You requested a deeper connection to your spirit guides. You requested to know them more intimately. You reached out and they presented themselves to you. I am never far. I am with you at all times, and this is not just because I love you as a child of my creation, but more so because you are a devoted child of creation. Number 3. Okay, the number 3 thing that I learned from Erin Rose's mentorship, God is My Boss, is that you must take action on the messages you receive. I think this is one of the biggest things that we miss, is that I hear all the time, like, how do I tune into my intuition? How do I connect with my spirit guides? How do I connect with my angels? How do I connect with God? How do I connect with my heart? How do I connect with my inner divine truth? Well, you listen to the messages and you take action on them. And I want to also say that this includes taking messages from your body. So one of the major things I see, especially as an acupuncturist, is people ignoring and dismissing their body's signals. And this can start with you've been sitting at the computer for 3 hours, you know you need to use the restroom, and you're not getting up to pee. You're ignoring your body's needs. Your neck is hurting, but you're not getting up to stretch or move or go outside, look at the sky for a second, get away from the screen. These are really important body signals that you need to be listening to. And it starts there. If you're not listening to your own body, then how are you going to hear messages from beyond? How are you going to hear messages from loved ones or your angels or God? You've got to be connected and in tune with yourself, and your body needs to know that you're listening to it and you're responding to it and you're obeying what it's asking for. And then this in turn allows there to be a trust formed, a connection formed, so that the design of your human body opens up to not just these simple things, these simply daily requests of it, but it opens itself up into the energetic realm. This is where you start to really get in tune with your heart. This is where you start to get in tune with messages from your angels and your spirit guides. You have to take action. You have to listen, and then you have to respond, especially when it's messages from God or messages from your spirit team. You are in partnership with them. You know, prayer is not just, I'm asking for this, this, and this, and this. I want this. Please give this to me. You know, we're not little kids anymore where we're like, please give me the Tonka truck. I don't know. But we are in partnership with God, with our spirit team. We're here to do our end of the work, you know? We're here to be boots on the ground. We had seeds planted inside us before we came here, things to fulfill on, things that we said we would take on, things that we would fulfill with their support, with their love, with their light, with the energy of creation within us and around us. As long as we stay open to that support, we can fulfill on everything we chose to do here. And so I share these things with you because I want you to be devoted to your mission here on earth. I want you to be devoted to whoever and whatever it is that offers you support. I want you to be devoted to taking action. I want you to be devoted to yourself and to always cultivating connection to that higher power, the higher source within you that has you inspired, that has you being breathed with inspiration so that you can take action on it, so that you can fulfill on your purpose here, so you can live a life that is full of creativity and excitement and joy. I am so grateful for the mentorship that I went through with Aaron Rose, and I hope you check it out. I don't know when he's offering it again, but get into his Instagram, follow him, get on his newsletter so that you'll be informed of when that happens. I highly recommend it. And I hope that today's video has inspired you to form a deeper connection with God, if that is something that you are desiring, and to see what comes of it, because we're all here to do brilliant things. Have a wonderful weekend, and I will see you soon. Bye.